Hey everyone, Taylor Medlin here, one of the solution architects at GitLab. I'm here to walk you through merge request approvals and how they differ for each of our tiers. So just to get started, you might hear customers bring up some concerns and questions around things like facilitating code review across teams, ensuring their code quality, things like security-specific reviews, and how to handle new security vulnerabilities that are being uncovered. And that's where we come in with the ability to set up and define specific merge request approval rules. So what is a merge request approval? MR approvals enable enforced code review by requiring specific people to actually approve a merge request before it's merged. And this is starting in our starter and bronze tiers. We do not have the concept within core or free. So MR approvals have a few use cases: enforcing code review before everything gets merged back into the master repo, specifying reviewers for any proposed code changes, as well as the minimum number of approvers, being able to specify categories of reviewers for all of the proposed code changes, like for example, the QA team or the engineering leads or the security team, automatically designating code owners as an eligible approver, which we can get into a little bit later. It's a little more granular. And then requiring approval from a security team before merging any code that might introduce a new vulnerability. Who are the eligible users? The following can approve merge requests just at the base level. So users that have been added to as approvers at project or merge request levels, code owners to the files that have been changed by the merge request, and then individual users can also be added as approvers if they're a member of the project's parent group, a group that has access to this project via sharing, or a group of users that has just been added as approvers. What is a code owner? GitLab Code Owners is a feature that lets you specify that certain users are the owners over specific files or directories within a repository, which allows other users to understand who is responsible for each file or path, or who's the sort of the master owner for those pieces. So in this example here, you can see we have approvers defined, but we also have code owners defined. So this is saying that each of these 4 people are owners over all of the code that lives within this doc space. So let's jump into what the MR approvers look like for each tier. Once again, we do not have the concept of approvals in our core free editions. You'll have to upgrade to see that. In starter and bronze, you have the ability to set 1 approval rule per project with a set number of required approvers or approvals from eligible approvers. You have the option to set these approvers with a code owners file. So you can see here in my example, we have 1 approval rule set called approval. We have 4 people listed as approvers, and I have said that 4 people need to approve before any of this can merge back into master. In our premium and silver tiers, you have the option to set multiple approval rules. So you can set these at the MR level and at the project level. By doing it at the project level, you set some defaults that will be on all subsequent MRs. And then you can also set these approval rules to be scoped for specific branches. So you see how I have the target branch section in my example below. I could set that to be the development branch or a staging branch, really whatever your workflow looks like. You can be more specific there. And you also have the option to set required approvers with a code owners file. So in previous tiers, I guess one previous tier, you have the option to set code owners as eligible approvers, meaning they could be the approvers, but they don't have to be. Once we get into premium and silver, you can say that this is a requirement. So anything that would have been changed in our doc example would have to be approved by one of those 4 people. Our ultimate and gold tiers introduce the concept of security approvals and license approvals. So security approvals are going to require approval from the security team, who ideally would have been defined in another rule, when a new vulnerability is introduced or when the security report is not generated. You'll see here, I have that listed as vulnerability check. It's a case-sensitive, predefined approval rule that you can just include. And next up, we have license approvals. So license approvals require approval when a project contains a dependency that also includes a denied software license, or when the license report is not generated. And this is defined as license-check. And that pretty much sums it up for MR approvals. There are a couple of resources here that you can use you'd like to see a little more. So thanks.